everyone. This is Margaret Manning with 60 and Me. This is the place where women over 60 come to be inspired. Today, my guest is Linda Goldman. Linda is an author of about 35 books somehow on health and nutrition, and she has a fantastic blog. It's called healthyorganicwoman.com. Linda has made it her life's passion to live a healthy lifestyle, and she's here today to share some of her secrets with us. Thanks so much, Linda, for being here.
My pleasure.
I'm so happy that you're here because being healthy in our 60s is a big priority for most of the women in the 60 and Me community. And I think one of the things that we know from experience is that there are some foods that are just a lot better for us than others, and there are some are not so good. But there are some foods that are naturally suffering from the lack of vitamins and minerals in our earth. And, you know, sometimes we might need some help, some supplements or extra servings of good food to stay healthy. So I know you've got some thoughts on this. I'd love to know, just give us a few of the ideas for supplements that we might need to be taking in our 60s.
I think the first thing that many people are missing is magnesium. And the reason for that is, first of all, magnesium is vital to every single process in the body. And it's missing from our soil. I mean, the soil has changed with chemical fertilizers over the years, and the natural magnesium that is in our soil, in fact, minerals in general are missing. Like, we all think about vitamins, what vitamins do we need? But most people don't think that minerals are what they really need, and minerals are missing.
Yeah.
And
so like zinc and magnesium and copper, those kinds of minerals.
All the trace minerals, exactly.
Yeah.
We're also told to take calcium, but actually mostly we do get calcium from our food, and too much calcium is not good. In fact, even Dr. Oz was saying not to take calcium anymore as a supplement, to take it in your food. But magnesium is vitally important because we can't get enough in our food, and the soil doesn't have enough. And I've had some remarkable stories just in my own family of two different family members who had trouble sleeping. They were not sleeping at night, and just by taking magnesium at night, they started sleeping. Yeah. And as you know, like, sleep is so vital. If you don't sleep, your body just doesn't function.
Totally. And, you know, I think that I actually bought some vitamin D capsules the other day, and it was mixed with magnesium. So maybe the people are starting to realize that those two, it wasn't D, it was calcium with magnesium. So it was actually in combination.
And, you know, my naturopath told me not to even take calcium. Now, I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm not
no medical advice.
But you should check if you have enough in your food, because too much is not good. Maybe you don't need it.
Yeah. I think what you're saying I think what you're saying is really important, though, is that know what is in your food. You know, like, know what is healthy, you know, that's already in the foods that you're eating, because, I mean, supplements are great. And I actually have always taken a multivitamin and vitamin D and magnesium. But, you know, maybe you're getting more than you know because you just don't realize what's in your food.
Certain things. Of certain things you are, and some things you may not be. So
yeah. So what else? Magnesium, we know. What else? What else is
vitamin
lacking?
D is crucial to every process of the body as well, and we get it from the sun. Except that most of us, or many of us, live in a climate where we don't get enough sun for at least half the year. I know I live in a northern climate, and between October and March, even if I go out in the sun, it's not strong enough for my body to absorb vitamin D. So I increase my vitamin D. I don't take it much in the summer, but in the winter months, you know, fall to spring, I take vitamin D. Okay. And you should have your vitamin D levels checked. And some people need more than others. So, you know, check with a health practitioner how much you need. But if not, you'll probably get sick a lot more often, more colds and things. And it affects everything. So vitamin D is really crucial.
Okay, that's good to know. What other ones?
Well, one that people don't think about is iodine. And iodine has been linked to breast cancer, lack of iodine. Now, you don't need very much, and I'm not prescribing or telling anyone how much to take or what kind to take, but I think it's really important to bring it up with a health practitioner and find out if you should be taking it, because people have this misconception that's in our salt. Yeah. There's not enough of it, and the sodium, the table salt, is really bad. I mean, it's chemically processed. It doesn't have a lot of iodine in it. and you need too much. You get too much sodium if you take that. So what you should have is a really good mineral salt, like a Celtic sea salt or something that has minerals in it, and also supplement with a small amount of iodine. And many people have found huge benefits to their energy level and decreasing brain fogginess and all kinds of things just because they were lacking iodine.
Yeah, I have heard this too. This isn't your normal iodine though that you put on a cut, right?
No, 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 no,
Just
no, no,
important
no, don't
safety
put
tip.
that. That's poison. That's poison. So you have to
But
go to the health food store or the
yeah.
pharmacy and get the right kind.
Okay, this is important because when I
Yeah,
first
yeah,
heard about this, I thought, oh, it was that brown stuff that you used to put on, on a cut. But
yeah.
I think actually you've raised a good point that I do want to reinforce. Whenever we have these kinds of talks about medical advice, we always, have people telling us a story or recommendation. And honestly, ladies that are listening, make your own decisions here. We are just throwing out some ideas, and always talk to your doctor if you have any questions, because like you said before, Linda, everyone's body is different, and we
Yeah.
reacts differently to different minerals. So we've got minerals, magnesium, we've got vitamin D, we've got iodine. What other supplements do you think we might
Well, fish
want?
oils are really important as well, like omega 3s. And our ancestors ate much more fish than we do,
Yeah,
than most people do.
yeah,
And they found that people that live near the sea and eat a high fish diet are generally more long-lived and healthy.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't like to eat sardines and things like that. So, I mean, if you want to eat a lot of fish, that's great. But if you don't, then you can take the supplement. Just make sure you got a good quality one. And I like to have the actual oil rather than the capsules, because in the capsules you can't tell if it's fresh or not. Now, there's a lot of controversy also. Is it krill oil? I mean, many people say that's better. Some people say sardines, like the anchovies. I
Right.
think they're both good. Again, I'm not an expert. All I'm saying is really do your homework. I'm just bringing up ideas so
Yeah,
that people can read up on it
yeah.
themselves, talk to a health practitioner about it, and see what's right for them. These are just like ideas to get you started.
And this is honestly the wonder of technology, isn't it? Because you can type in anything in
Hmm.
Bing or Google these days, and immediately there's everyone's opinion. And as you say, you just have to sort it out. And so that's another good one. And I actually love sardines. I think they're great. I must be the only one on the planet that actually likes sardines, but I do. So okay, so we got fish oil. Any other supplements that you think we might be missing or needing more of?
Well, I mean, in general, the only thing is instead of taking a vitamin, a multivitamin, I would say take a multimineral. Like make sure that you get your minerals in
Mm-hmm.
there
Mm-hmm.
because you probably get enough vitamins if you eat fruits and vegetables, but you may not get enough minerals. So
Yeah.
that's what most people don't think about. They take a multivitamin and they usually, a good one might have some minerals, but if you take a mineral supplement, you'll get more. So,
Okay.
so look into a mineral supplement if you're going to take something that's multi.
That's a really good idea. I should look into that because I'm not taking a mineral supplement. So I had another question, which might be something you can help with. Is the probiotic prebiotic
Hmm.
conversation that's going on? That basically your stomach, your gut, is where a lot of
Right,
illness begins, and so
right.
we should just start eating foods like kefir, which is a yogurt, cultured
Hmm.
yogurt, or taking a supplement. What's your thought on that?
Many experts say to do both. It depends, how healthy you are and how much you can get
Yeah.
from food. I mean, if you don't have digestive issues and you're generally healthy, the probiotics are expensive. I'm not saying yes or no. Some people need them, especially if you take antibiotics for any reason. You should always be taking a
Yes.
probiotic because it can really destroy your gut bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
But eating fermented foods is even better because it just keeps your
Yeah.
body, humming properly. And they used to say you are what you eat, but really you are what you digest. If your body can't digest
Yeah.
even good food that you're eating, then you won't get benefits out of it.
Yeah.
So,
So
that's
love
really.
Yeah. So love that sauerkraut and all those other fermented pickles, I suppose, and
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah, exactly.
It's so funny. I mean, I try very hard on these interviews with people to not go towards the trends, but you can't avoid it these days. There's so much advice coming from one direction or the other. Another thing that people often talk about is this whole gluten-free thing, which is obviously very, big at the moment. Partly because people are paying attention to their bodies, like we've talked about,
Right.
and they realize that wheat and other products do have an impact on their body.
Yeah.
But would you say that that's something people should be tested for, or is it a bigger problem than we think, or bigger issue?
I think for a lot of people it probably is because the food today is not what our grandmothers ate. Like my grandmother used to eat bread all the time, but it's not the bread we're eating anymore. So, you know, over time, bread might have been good for many people, but many people it's not good for anymore. And so, I mean, I think if you have health issues, you should definitely be tested. I know people that have had severe digestive issues and found to have celiac disease or other things. You might experiment with just cutting out bread for a few days. It sounds really hard at the beginning, but you know what? I've done that, and after a while, you don't even notice it.
You
So,
survived.
yeah, you really don't notice it. So, and then there's all kinds of recipes now, using coconut flour and almond flour. Like if you go on the internet, if you want gluten-free recipes, I mean, there's thousands of them.
Yes, and just try it. You make buckwheat pancakes, or
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Well, I guess that's one thing you could do is if you feel like you've got problems with your stomach, or even some skin problems have been traced
Yeah.
now to your gut bacteria. Just try some of the gluten-free products and see if it makes a difference. But I guess it's just like we said in another video, you've got to know yourself. You've got to know your body, and I think we've covered a lot here. Actually, have we missed anything that you wanted to mention in terms of the things that we might be lacking in our body, our diet?
Well, one thing is to have good oils. Like we do need oils. We've been taught for years not to eat
Yes.
oil, and I think good fats are very important. We talked about omega-3. There's also all good quality olive oil.
Yes.
Some of and even butter is making a comeback. So, I mean, in moderation, I mean, not to slather on, not to have huge amounts, but you need some good oils in your diet. But they have to be the right ones and not the hydrogenated oils, like the canola oil. Canola oil has a reputation of being a good oil and is really a bad one because it's mostly, genetically modified and not very healthy anymore. So you have to really know which oils are good. Coconut oil is said to be very good right now. I have a lot of that.
I love that.
Nuts, I mean, everything in moderation, but I mean, we need some good oils. If you have no fat in your diet, you're not going to be very healthy either because your brain needs it. So,
Yeah, I think that's actually, yeah, that's a really good one, I think, to close on, because I think that, for example, avocado is very high in fat, as are
right.
nuts. But like we've talked about, they're great to eat. They're full of nutrients that we need. So it's all
Right.
about just being aware, educating yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you. So if people want to learn more about what you've been researching and digging out information on you, they can go to healthyorganicwoman.com. Yeah, and we'll put the address in the bottom of the article so people can find you. And I really appreciate your insights. Really good conversation. Thanks a lot, Linda.
My pleasure.
Thank you.